So my name is Jesus Cerro. I am working in the European Parliament in the Corporate Strategy and Innovation Office. And I am in charge of the digitalization of the legislative chain. So it's the second digitalization. I have a few minutes to explain. I don't have time to explain everything to you, so this is only an overview. And basically, I will concentrate this presentation explaining why we are doing that, what we are doing, an overview, and how we are doing that. So the why is because we want to increase the quality, and for that we have a lot of checks, automatic generation of text, and a lot of system experts with a lot of rules that we reuse, and we arrive to have more consistency in the different documents. The second point is we try to reduce the entire time we need for the entire procedure, legislative procedure. So we pretend to reduce the entire legislative procedure. It's always around the same. We want to perform more automatic operations. So we want at the same time to reduce the effort of the staff. In the European Parliament, we work with 24 languages. Documents are verified, but are also translated, and we want to automatize as much as possible. We want to have tools that don't need much training, and tools that understand well the rules and enforce the rules. So we try to push the rules in the applications and not on the people that use the applications. Then we want to increase the transparency and the traceability of the different documents, including amendments. And we, as I said, we try to capture the rules and the knowledge in a single place. Today, this is spread in different units, in different experts that they are going to retirement, and we are losing a lot of knowledge. So now that we are trying is to capture in a single place all these rules and knowledge. So yeah, I forgot that. All this digitalization has some side effects. So for example, in our case, we implement, probably you know about, is 84EM. Was much easier for the members to create amendments. The problem we have today is we have too much amendments. They are so easy to create that they generate too much for us, and that add extra work. And we are working on that, how we can think to limit this number of amendments that we receive today. So what we are doing is we implement all the documents using XML. So the documents are done in XML, or we try to move to XML. Why? Because XML is structured information, and as we structure better information, we allow more automatic operation and checks. The XML is a standard between the different institutions, and that increases the interoperability between the different systems. We will have an overview, and we are using Acomantoso. Okay, so it's our standard. And there I have an asterisk is red, is because we consider Acomantoso is not the best technical solution. Okay, Acomantoso is a good standard because it's a standard, and this is already good, very good to have a standard, but it's not the best, it's not the more easy standard to work technically. So for the IT people, it's very difficult sometimes. We are developing WYSIWYG web editors. This is our strategy. We replace Word, Office. So this is very challenging to go to people that are working for years and years working on Word and try to replace with web editors that enforce the rules and enforce the styles. So the user cannot do whatever they want as is in Word. The user are very limited in Word or web editors. That is to assure quality and consistency. So they cannot put bold and italic where they want. This is enforced by the tools. They cannot put colors. They cannot do whatever they want. This is this lack of flexibility that is requested by the users is always a conflict. We want people focusing on authoring. And for that, we don't want people understanding the XML, so we avoid the markup strategy. A lot of parliaments, they train experts, XML experts, that are in charge to mark up the text with XML tags. In our case, we have WYSIWYG editors that generate the XML totally transparent for the users. We develop also very specialized components. So we have a lot of components, and this is to reduce a bit the complexity of every release. And at the same time, we are reusing different things for different documents. And in our case, we still are, even if we generate millions of XML per year, we are still in a mixed world where we have XML and Word files. So for the time being, the workflow tools are the old workflow tools implemented for the Word, and we are attached to this workflow in the XML world. So we will attack the workflow tools when we reach 99% of all the documents in XML. At the end of this presentation, you will see what are the different percentages we have in XML. So what we have? So we have different components. Well, we have a single repository. We have another component to generate the versioning that is very helpful to track what are the changes of the different users. We have a check-in, check-out, etc. We have a single point of connection to the existing workflow systems. We have a single tool to render the XML because we are still rendering the document in PDF and DocP. And we have a single rules repository. I will show you different screens and different examples. And then we have a lot of specialized editors. WYSIWYG editors, always transparent for the user. And we have different editors because each one enforces different rules. So for example, 84M is a tool focused on the drafting of amendments, where the user basically, as you will see on the screen, perform a change in a text, and that's all. Then we have Senate, that is a general editor to produce reports, and it's there where we apply the vote result, we consolidate the text. We have the TTE, Trilog. This is special in the European institutions. So we have, in certain cases, we perform a discussion between the three institutions, and this is Trilog. We have very big tables with a lot of amendments between the three institutions, and we switch to web editor because Word was very huge, and then we have to move to translate amendments, another to verify amendments. Studio is Trados. This is generic, and we use to translate report. We have 84 legs to verify documents, and we have real track changes tools. What I mean that is we are not on the strategy that the Word has. So the strategy where you have a lot of track changes showing in different colors of the different changes by the user. So for us, real track changes mean that it's a tool to track the changes, and we have different views where the user can fully understand what has been changed at what moment, etc. So they are specialized for this work. What are the XML documents that we cover? We are covering amendments, bills, motion, opinions, parliamentary questions, verbatim, the Trilog tables, so the big tables with different amendments, and even the rule of procedure of the European Parliament is in XML documentation. So today they are voting amendments on the rule of procedure in the plenary, and sure, this afternoon or tomorrow, we have to change the rule of procedure in 84 legs is the editor for the rule of procedure. So few samples. Few samples. with the screens. This is an example of to create an amendment in ET4M. So you can navigate in the Commission proposal and then create amendments. This is an example of Senate where we generate entirely the entire text, including footnotes, and link URL to the content of this footnote, and this is done automatically, fully automatically. Quality checks. So at the end of the document, before finalize the document, we perform a lot of checks with acronyms, with the spell checker, with a lot of things that have been requested by the business. We have a screen to manage the vote, the result of the vote. And then we apply the vote, and the user can see where the amendments are being applied, what has been changed with respect to which amendment and the reference of the amendment. We have a rule manager, as I explained to you, so we centralize all the knowledge in basic rules. Basic rule is condition command, and then we are able also to preview different examples in this tool. Okay, how we are doing that? Basically, that we are doing is we apply an agile methodology, and we are driving by real pilots. So we define pilots. The business define what has to be the next pilot in production, and looking on this pilot, then we decide what has to be developed by the IT developments. So the IT developments are driving by the content of the pilot that is defined by the business. At each pilot, we produce things. It's not a pilot that don't do anything. We produce XML with certain condition, with certain control condition, but we are working on and it's something that is really working. And we are also metrics driving. And this is the last slide. Here you have what is the progress in the European Parliament. So we draft and finalize report in XML, and we move from 20% of the reports to 49% of the reports. So today, we are generating more or less half of the documents in XML. The amendments drafted by the members are 99%. The finalization we are in 57%. Verification is not a problem for us. We are with big numbers. 72% of the reports are translated in XML. We have certain issues with the translation of amendments, and basically it's a capacity, because we are generating too much amendments because it's very easy to do that in ET4M. We already have few pilots drafting 9 documents and final opinions, and we draft 100% of the parliamentary questions. We are also drive by reason. What means that? And every time that a user wants to don't use XML and move toward to the Word, then we ask why, and then we perform statistics, and we concentrate on what is the major reason to don't perform XML. So we don't ask the user what they want. We analyze why we have these figures. So for example, 49% of XML, and we concentrate on the major problem first. And the objective is to increase the percentage of XML we generate, around 2 million XML per year. So I stop here.